if this was a situation where an individual was pulled over or was in an accident while they were drinking, then there would not be a discussion.
That horrible accident, a police car.
Is anybody trapped in their vehicles?
No, but they're laying out in the middle of the street and people are attending to them.
Now, drunk behind the wheel, an IMPD officer involved in a deadly crash is facing serious allegations.
This is that Metro Police Officer tonight leaving his home surrounded by fellow police officers.
Crash report states Bessard tried to swerve but couldn't avoid them. Chief Paul Soselsky said the department is working with the prosecutor's office, and he said the department would consult with the prosecutor's office tomorrow to determine what charges may be filed.
Following Friday's accident, the officer in question was assigned to desk duty. Today, when we were dispatched to his house, he was home. We arrived at Officer Bessard's home. 5 squad cars at the house, hurriedly parked. To arrest him? No, to console him. In a tersely worded statement from IMPD, they detailed the scene. A scene that included grown men in tears embracing. 2 initially critically injured Friday and 1 killed. Bessard, sirens blazing, hit 3 motorcycles and a car. The release heavy on details, and not until near the end, line 8, does it mention Bessard tested positive for alcohol. Sources telling 24-Hour News 8 his level was .19, more than 2 times legally drunk. Bessard in camo shorts and a Chicago Cubs t-shirt, he made his way to the passenger side of a cohort. His destination on this night, unknown.
You're looking at the damage to Tim Griffith's car. Nothing compared to the mangled motorcycles on 56th Street Friday.
Everything just happened so fast. I mean, I'm talking within less than 4 to 5 seconds of hearing sirens, you know, we were involved in that accident. They didn't see it coming. We were just sitting at a light, and the vehicles in front of us had been able to move, but we hadn't even been able to move right when that light turned green. So we were in the left lane, there were people in the right lane, there were people in front of us. There was, absolutely nowhere for anyone to move at that point.
Friday's crash was Bessard's 6th.
And our team coverage continues now with sharp words from an attorney for the man involved in the crash. Erica Fly spoke with him tonight and joins us live with that part of the story. Erica?
Trisha, that attorney tells me he's adjusting his lawsuit against Officer Bessard and the Metro Police Department in light of the new allegations. And he's outraged the department is just now acknowledging Bessard was allegedly over the legal limit.
Have they found, and how long have they known that? I think we need to know that. How long have you known that this man was drunk? And why did you make a decision not to let us know earlier?
Attorney Everett Powell's client, Timothy Griffith, was in front of the motorcycles when he says Officer David Bessard slammed into the cycles, sending the bikes and bodies onto his car. Powell believes authorities knew Bessard was drunk at the scene on Friday and did nothing about it. Griffith was eventually able to leave the scene and went out of town. Powell says hours later, Griffith got a surprising call from police. They forgot to give him a breathalyzer and needed to come do one.
My client obviously was in no way, shape, or form involved in causing any of this harm that has been caused, but yet they travel 2 hours after this accident to give him a breathalyzer test. And I think the fact that they did that was to try to say that maybe my client would have been a participant in what happens.
Griffith was suing for negligent infliction of emotional distress. In light of the allegations Officer Bessard was drunk, Powell's now changing that to intentional infliction.
We have asked Everett Powell, who is the attorney, as you said, for Mr. Griffith, to join us here in the newsroom and in our web center. Ask a couple of questions. How does this information that this officer was drunk or may have been drunk affect your case for your particular client? His car was damaged. He suffered some emotional distress. How does this change things?
Well, when you look at the situation as it first came to us, we thought that this was a situation where the officers painted the picture that the people who were riding the motorcycles were not responding to the officer having the sirens and the lights.
Right.
And obviously, things have changed. It's not that situation at all. Here we have a situation where an officer was driving recklessly and under the influence of alcohol. So that changes the circumstances because he intentionally decided to drink. And that wasn't a decision that anyone could make. My client was forced to take a breathalyzer test after he had left the scene about 2 or 3 hours later, and he was actually about an hour outside of the city, and he passed that test.
And I want to know quickly, what do you think should happen in this case at this point?
Well, I have a problem with the administration saying that they're consulting with the prosecutor's offices to decide what to do. If this was a situation where an individual was pulled over or was in an accident while they were drinking, then there would not be a discussion. We would know that they would be in custody of the police right away. And so this tells me that this administration is not taking this situation seriously. This is a situation where they tried to sweep it under the rug. The mayor should have been the one that brought that to the forefront, and this disclosure that they gave, I don't think is acceptable. I think that we should have heard from our mayor saying what is going on and how they're going to respond. Don't tell me that you're going to put this on the prosecutor. What are you going to do, Mayor?